Oh man, we got to change the agenda. Jason Scott joined. It takes out a whole section of what we were going to talk about. I know you hear me, Jason.
And Donnie, we're recording.
Oh.
Oh, you got in trouble.
I got busted.
You did.
2 more minutes. Let's get started. Good morning, everyone. My name is Don Williamson. I'm the 2020 chairman of the board for the Corona Chamber of Commerce. And we have another great call for you today with a lot of information that you'll find interesting and valuable to use every single day. Today, joining me in presenting this agenda is Kim Maybon, who is the chair-elect. She'll be our chairman of the board in 2021. She's the owner of Creative by Design, and she'll be giving details and announcements throughout this call. Kim, can you tell us about today's sponsor?
Sure, thank you, Don. Today's event is sponsored by AFE Power. Advanced Flow Engineering was founded in 1999 and is a premier designer and manufacturer of automotive performance, upgrade systems, and components. They are passionate about providing the most compelling, innovative, and highest performing products that are designed, built, and tested right here in Corona. Thank you to AFE Power for sponsoring today's event.
Thank you, Kim. As always, please use the chat button for any questions. There'll be time for questions after each one of our speakers, and don't shout out a question or anything like that, but put it into the chat box, where today Deborah will go through them and then relay them to our guest. And that way we'll keep it organized and in line. The Corona Chamber of Commerce continues to work hard each and every day for our members, and we're here to help bring prosperity to our businesses in any way we can. If you ever need us, please give us a call here at the Corona Chamber of Commerce. We truly appreciate those that have consented to be our speakers today, and we look forward to hearing what they have to say that's going to be of value and benefit to our membership. We're going to begin today with a county update. And today's update, we are fortunate to have our Riverside County Supervisor for District 2, our own Karen Spiegel. I've known Karen for many years, and I'll tell you, we are really having some troubling times, as everyone knows, with COVID. And Karen has unfailingly been an advocate for business. She's unfailingly stood up to make sure that we're not forgotten, that it's easy to sit in Sacramento and make an edict and forget about those that need to make a payroll, need to pay their bills, need to have a job to live. So Karen has really been an advocate for us in pushing back, ensuring that our voices are heard, that we're not forgotten out there. So I just want to thank Karen on behalf of the Corona Business Community. And Karen, please take over.
Well, thank you. I think those of you know that Donnie's leading into something that happened yesterday. And I really want to clarify that when there's a change in the tier or any mandates come down, it is not from Riverside County. And quite often it's picked up that the county announces this or the county is doing that. We had months ago got ourselves in a line with the state, and that was intentional. So when something was said and something was done, we knew it was the state that made the order. Well, yesterday we were ordered to reverse back to the purple tier, and it was devastating. It was frustrating. And some of you, like me, got to be very angry over this. And we're not done. We're going to be pushing back. But at the same time, since we did not order the businesses to be closed, we can't open them. So which means if we pretty much said, go ahead and continue business as normal, if you did something and you had the state come, if you have a license, we cannot help you if the state, particularly, those of you that have a restaurant or a liquor license or a cosmetology or anything that has a contractor, anything that has a license, the state can and has threatened to pull licenses. So in some ways you can look at it, we'd be hurting businesses more. And so this is why we've continued down the path, trying to figure out, we've worked with the state, they gave us that extra week, our numbers didn't come down. And so now we're in this situation. So it means is that for us to move back into the red tier, we have to basically be in this holding pattern for 3 weeks, but the 3 weeks have to get our numbers up. So we have to have 2 consecutive weeks of getting our numbers back in the red tier, which is very, very frustrating. But we can all work together. And it's because the governor has added some new pieces to it, the equity piece, as well as the testing piece. You've heard us talk about, please get tested. If we only have those with symptoms being tested, then we're going to have more positives. And that's what was happening. We finally got our testing rates up the last few days, but those don't count till next week. So we're always a week behind. There's what they call a lag. So we're just letting you know is we have 72 hours to adjust. Every business has to make decisions on their own, but we're letting you know what the state has said. In the meantime, we are working and moving forward and doing what we can to let the state know that we're unhappy. And it's, as everybody may have heard, Disneyland is not any better. They're now looking at probably at least a year out before they can open, 6 months at the earliest, and that's an incredible feat. So with that news, not the best. We also have some other news I wanted to share. Is our CEO, George Johnson, will be retiring in December. In the meantime, we have an interim CEO, and that is Juan Perez. Some of you know Juan Perez. He will be acting as interim CEO. So we have still a lot going on within the county. We're trying to wrap up our CARES dollars, make sure they're spent and we get the money before the end of the year. And so if there's any of you that haven't applied, the last bit of nonprofit and business loans, or grants rather, not loans, because they don't have to be paid back, to please go ahead and do those as quick as possible. And with that, unless you have any questions, I don't want to end on a bad note, but keep doing what you're doing because you guys are working hard and things are turning around quicker than they're anticipating in our economy. And I'm sorry that we're having to take a step backwards, but we will get moving forward together.
Thank you, Karen. I just want to add this to that. We're getting reports here at the chamber that our businesses are receiving those grants now. They've actually gotten the money. So on behalf of them, I just want to thank you for that as well. I know that was part of your efforts and hard work as well. Deborah, do we have it?
I do want to say real quick, one thing on the, Michelle just posted the dimmer framework. This time in purple, a couple weeks ago, the governor added personal care can be done indoors. So your hair, your nails, your barbecue, your tattoos, your all that, massages can continue indoors even though we're in purple. They've moved that up and included that in the purple. So I know that was a big controversy last time we were in purple. That has been changed. So I just want to let everybody know that.
Thank you. Deborah, do we have any questions for Supervisor Spiegel?
Yes, I know that the supervisor had mentioned grants, and someone was asking if you could provide us any additional info regarding that, particularly if there are any more available.
Well, if you inline for them, we're going through the ones we had cut off because we had more applicants than we did for funding. That we had 3 rounds of grants. And so if you are in the grant line, which means you applied and haven't heard back, there's still hope, but there's no guarantee because we give them out until the funding's gone. So that's the challenge. But there's been 3 rounds, so we've done really well, and Corona has gotten a fair share of the grants. So I'm really pleased with that.
Thank you so much. There is another question regarding testing. And the question is, are we going to be able to include testing like how it's done at Silver Lakes?
No, it's a whole different testing at Silver Lakes. You're talking about same day, couple hours. No, that's not within the state or the county testing sites. That's a whole different test. And we're trying to get the state to allow that testing information to be included in our testing, because right now the state isn't including that. So we will not be having that testing available to our residents. So you'd have to still continue to go and pay for that separately.
Thank you so much. Dawn, there are no more questions.
Thank you, Deborah. Supervisor Spiegel, thank you again for being here and for supporting us in our most recent troubling times and the longevity as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, Kim and I are going to talk a little bit about a great annual event that we have coming up next week. Kim?
Thank you, Don. Real quick, I just wanted to say a thank you to Karen. We did get those grants, and one of them is helping our barbershop stay open instead of shut down for good. So thank you for that. We'd like to sincerely thank all of our sponsors shown on this screen for helping make this year's golf tournament possible. All sponsorships have been sold, and we are so excited to see you all next week on October 29th. If any of you still need help completing your team of 4, don't worry. We'll invite frontline healthcare workers to golf with your team. I'll quickly turn it back to Don to give you additional info on the opportunity tickets and the auction.
Thanks, Kim. Yeah, we still have opportunity tickets available. And these tickets allow us to include even more of our healthcare heroes to participate in the golf tournament. So you get a chance to win some great prizes. Some you can see right here on your screen. Gift cards, a big screen, smart TV, Fender guitars. The tickets are $25 each, or you can get 6 tickets for $100, 40 tickets for $500. This is something, again, that you can get either here at the chamber. Most of us who are on the chamber board have them available as well. Sponsorships may be closed, but there's still a way to promote your business during this golf event. We are accepting additional raffle and auction items to give away. Donations are a great way to get your company recognized during events. Not only this one, but in all events. So please, to donate, contact the chamber or Deborah, or send an email to deborah@mychamber.org. Speaking of the auction, if you'd like to participate in the golf lunch and the auction portion on October 29th, you still have a chance to get tickets. The tickets are only $25 until Monday. This coming Monday, the 26th. After that, the prices go up to $35. So buy them today. You don't have to participate in the golf tournament to purchase tickets for lunch only. For more details, or if you have any questions, contact the chamber office here. You can email Stephanie or Deborah here again at the chamber as well. So I look forward to seeing all of you to participate some way at the golf tournament, and that's a week from tomorrow, October 29th. Up next, we have our Chair of Legislative Action, who has been recognized as one of our young professionals making history in 2020. Anthony Edwards is a upcoming star here at the Corn Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like to turn it over to him.
Thank you, Don. I think it's we're going through a lot right now. I mean, with the county having its own issues with the state, and the state having its own issues with a lot of the things that are going on. And I think it would be good to have an update. And we have a guy that is in tune with the state and in tune with the county, and Jeff Gibson. He's our legislative advocate, also our resident historian, and many other things. So with that, Jeff, I'd like to drop it off to you.
Thanks, Anthony. Yeah, many other things is probably a pretty accurate description of how most people would round out my career. Wanted to discuss, as we get closer to the election, obviously we have gone through each of the propositions that we've spoken about. One of the things that has come out that I wanted to speak about specifically is Prop 15. So Prop 15 we have endorsed strongly against because it undermines Prop 13 in many specific ways. It actually would throw most of the redevelopment of Main Street into a what's known as a split roll. We've never had a split roll in the state of California before, since 1872 forward, under the current constitution that we're operating on. It shouldn't matter to the state, and it has never mattered to the state how you use your property. All real property, all land, is taxed at the same rate using the same assessment process. Prop 15 throws the assessment process into it makes it entirely political, based on something called community value, and your property can be reassessed on an annual basis based upon criteria that are set on a rolling basis by either the legislature, the governor, both, or local officials following the advice of the legislature or the governor. So much like Prop 21, which is advocating for rent control and would force local elected officials to form rent control boards around the state, Prop 15 obviously will allow Sacramento to exert authority over local taxing officials. The reason we're bringing this up is there has been a point that has been used in the past to discuss Prop 13, and I wanted to bring this to your attention because it is not correct. It is being pitched. Prop 15 is being pitched as a tax cut for residential homeowners. It is not. What they're talking about is that since Prop 13 was passed, at the time, land values were about 50% commercial, 50% residential. Since Prop 13 was passed, the property tax roll has become overwhelmingly residential, because as the value of residential property has gone up, the number of regulations in this state have driven job growth per capita down. And so when you make it more difficult to do business in the state of California, the value of the property used to create jobs and do business, just like we talk about here every day, has gone down. So therefore, over time, even though everyone is paying the same 1%, the percentage of that tax paid by homeowners has gone up, and the percentage by commercial has gone down. That's being used as an argument to pass Prop 15, and what the purported $128 that every residential homeowner would benefit from is only in a percentage. No one's getting $128 back from the state. No one is getting a property tax break. What the argument is because your neighbors who own commercial property now have higher taxes. As a comparison, your taxes are lower. So their grief is higher. That means your net grief is by comparison lower. So please make sure to tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone that you can that Prop 15, and it's in the legislative analysis, is going to raise taxes on nearly every Californian, because when business pays more in property taxes, it passes those expenses on directly to consumers. Consumers are looking at a 6 to 10% increase in their inflationary, in their net inflationary cost of living, without any increase at all in their ability to earn those dollars. In fact, obviously the pressure comes on the people that employ them, like all of us on this call. It's going to be an incredible inflationary pressure to cut wages and cut employment. So that's happy to answer any questions. We saw that at the end of last week in a new ad campaign that's coming out. It's a major buy by the Yes on 15 folks, unfortunately, and we wanted you to be armed to know what that argument is about. And again, it's not cutting anyone's taxes, it's increasing everyone's taxes. What they're saying is that because it's raising business taxes, that the share of taxes paid by business goes up, therefore the share of residential taxes goes down, and therefore homeowners should feel better about paying more. So in any case, happy to take your questions, and we will keep you updated as we get within the next 2 weeks, obviously with the election coming up. So very important. Any questions?
Actually, I think your presentation was very clear, so we currently don't have any questions.
That was a very nice way of saying that. Thank you, guys.
We have the best staff in America right here.
You do.
Well,
You do.
Jeff, thank you so much. We always appreciate your presentation and what you learn for us every week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, bud. All right.
Okay. I want to remind everyone on this call that this call is made every week as a benefit for our members. This is part of you joining the chamber. You get to be on this call. And I know if you're on this call, the chances are you are already a member, but you know people in this community who probably should be members that you can refer to our membership development specialist here at the Corona Chamber of Commerce, Robert Yanez. Robert is available every day to take any people that you can refer to us and who belong to and should belong to the Corona Chamber of Commerce. We always want to increase our membership. It gives us more influence in our legislative action efforts. The elected officials, and the more members we have, the more impact we have, and that's what we want to do. We're not only here in Corona, but we serve the region as well. So if you know anyone here, please refer them to Robert. And if you refer someone that becomes a member, you get a free advertisement in the Corona Business News, which the newest one, if you haven't gotten it yet, just came out on Friday, and you get a free advertisement in there. So please keep Robert in mind. Call him here at the chamber office, 737-3350. So that's it for Robert. And this year has been going by really fast. And for the next few weeks, we have a lot going on between now and the end of the year, which will be the end of me being the chairman of the board, and we'll be turning it over to Kim. And so Kim's going to tell us about some of the events that we have between now and the year end. So Kim, fire away.
Thank you, Don. Coming up just a few days before the golf tournament next week, on Monday, October 26th, we will be holding a webinar to talk about manufacturing opportunities and careers that inspire. As you know, Corona is home to many manufacturing companies. We are celebrating Manufacturing Month with a free event brought to you by the City of Corona in partnership with CMTC, Corona Chamber of Commerce, Launch Apprenticeship Network, and Fender USA. If you've been thinking about launching a career in manufacturing, this event is for you. Hear directly from manufacturers, including Ed McGee, the Executive Vice President of Operations for Fender. Sign up online to get the Zoom link. Also coming up in November is just a few weeks away is Paul Webb's very popular workshop on Thursday, November 5th. Paul is a licensed NLP master trainer with over 43 years of sales experience. This workshop's focus will be on personality types. If this is your first workshop and you've missed any of the others, Paul will do a quick recap of the sessions before jumping into the new exciting topic. This is a can't miss for anyone in sales, and there is limited time, so register now. Don?
Thank you, Kim. I think it's a little known fact that Corona has a lot of automobile-related manufacturers here. And certainly one of the premier manufacturers in that industry is AFE Power. And I'd like to talk and to thank them again for sponsoring today's call. Without partners like AFE Power, we would be greatly diminished. So thank you to AFE Power. Their current product lines include cold air intake systems, high-performance direct fit and racing air filters, exhaust systems, intercoolers, turbochargers, electronic programmers, diesel fuel systems, throttle body spacers, and more. And they're all designed and developed right here in Corona. Corona got world famous in 1913 because of the automobile and car races. And companies just like AFE, today's sponsor, AFE Power, continues to make Corona a player in the automobile industry. And it helps us be a place to live and work. So thank you again to AFE Power. So now it's time to turn our attention to our main topic for today's call, which is the Economic Development Partnership and Pathways for Business Success here in Corona. We want to start with Corona's Economic Development Director, Jessica Gonzales. Jessica has over 15 years of public sector experience in economic development, revitalization, and strategic planning. She is passionate about economic growth and developing strategies that create meaningful and tangible results. This year, she was recognized by the California Association of Local Economic Development as one of the 40 trailblazers in her field. Congratulations, Jessica. Joining her today will be Trelynd Bradley from the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development, or GOBiz. He is Senior Business Development Specialist, and he will be sharing state resources for business and manufacturers located or expanding here in Corona. So everyone, please welcome Jessica and Trelynd.
Thank you, Don. And are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, we're on the right track. Perfect. So while we're getting our slides up here, excellent. Just want to share that one of the ways that the city here is committed to supporting our businesses is through partnerships. Essentially, everything that we do to be able to grow our business base, to help provide the resources, is through a very collaborative approach. And that is what you'll hear me say throughout these slides. And to exemplify that partnership, Trey Bradley from the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development will be joining us. And I'm delighted that he's here and will be able to share some viable resources that we can all use today. So next slide, please. Right, so to frame our conversation, I want to start off with a definition that the California Association of Local Economic Development makes available to us all. And in here, they define economic development as the creation of wealth from which community benefits are realized. It is more than a jobs program. It's an investment in growing your economy and enhancing the prosperity and quality of life for all residents. Simply stated, when a company, an entrepreneur locates in Corona, they have made a commitment to invest their time, their resources, bring jobs, be contributors. And essentially what we want to do is reciprocate that investment and put forth for them a clear path to do business, bring the resources, the tools that they need to succeed. They're bringing in not only jobs, as stated here, but also a range of products, services that enhance our overall quality of life. So I'll share with you some of the ways that the city and its partners are investing in our business community. Next slide. So great news, we have over 12,000 businesses that call Corona home. And these range across a variety of industries. As we've heard, manufacturers. We have over 400 manufacturers comprised of different subsectors. Also healthcare, retail, services, professional groups. And as you can imagine, the makeup is also very varied, from small, let's say, family-run business to a mid-sized to a large corporation. So our approach has to be one that brings together different entities, partners, to ensure that collectively we can assist and empower them. Next slide. So here are our overarching goals in the Office of Economic Development. We want to create opportunities to start, grow, and expand a business in Corona. We want to create a clear path businesses can navigate. And I want to stress this, a clear path means eliminating hurdles, obstacles to launching that business. And so perhaps this could be a business needs technical expertise. They need access to capital. And so we want to connect them with the business, with the resources and the capital to bring those innovative products, those services here to fruition in Corona. We also endeavor to maintain dialogue with businesses and understand needed resources. And I want to also pause here. That is very key to the success of what we're doing to support businesses. As I share with groups, constant communication reinforces continued choice. This means that we need to be constantly seeking ways to engage with our business community. Today's webinar, of course, is a perfect example of that, to be able to have these conversations, understanding how we can be a partner. We also want to connect businesses and workforce, create that critical alignment between our employers and job seekers. And I'll share with you some of the ways we're doing that. Ultimately, our overarching goal is to serve as a partner for business success. Next slide. So here, hopefully you're able to see on the diagram. If not, I'll describe it. In the middle is Team Corona, which is essentially what we describe ourselves here, the city's Office of Economic Development, in partnership with the various departments that interact with business. We serve as one cohesive unit internally, and now equally as important, we're also collaborating with other partners, with local, regional, state, and federal agencies. Locally, of course, our Chamber of Commerce, also our schools, our property managers, our brokers, understanding how we can support one another in bringing awareness and also bringing support to our businesses. On the regional level, we're proud to be partnering with Riverside County Workforce Development, also the county's Office of Business and Community Services. At the state level, as mentioned previously, you'll hear from one of our partners, the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development, who also with the California Manufacturing Technology Consulting, another partner, they're able to provide our businesses with access to credits, rebates, purchase equipment, assistance. We want to be able to bring these resources to support businesses here. And on the federal level, here's where we're able to leverage the access to capital, the virtual business consulting that is offered through our federal partners at the Small Business Administration, the Small Business Development Center, and SCORE. Next slide. So I want to share with you some of the initiatives that are exemplifying these partnerships. The first one is business attraction and expansion. So while I have been in the field for over 15 years serving businesses here in Corona, I'm approaching just shy of 4 months. And so my immediate foundational step was to come in here and cultivate partnerships that would allow us now to be equipped with the tools to better position our companies and also our job seekers. So here with business attraction and expansion, we hold what we call virtual business assistance meetings. Next slide. And through these meetings, we're able to provide now a collective offering of resources. We discuss with a company at the onset of them locating or expanding into Corona, we are providing them with access to hiring and training resources, utility discounts and incentives, corporate income tax credits, equipment purchase credits. Trey will be discussing these in more detail, but I just want to share and stress that through these various resources that now we can leverage as one cohesive unit, we are facilitating the prompt location and expansion of businesses here in Corona. So as I mentioned, this has been started over the past 3 months. So we are eager to continue this and are already seeing the benefit of this collaboration with our partner agencies. Next slide. Second initiative that I want to share with you is how we're supporting industry, how we are empowering our diverse industries here in Corona. Next slide. I'm going to give you an example. Last month, hopefully several of you joined us when we had our best practices and recovery strategies for restaurants webinar. This was a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, with the county's environmental health, Riverside County Business and Community Services, and also the Small Business Development Center. So essentially local, regional, and federal partners came together to provide critical guidance to restaurants. We of course understand the ever-evolving mandates and direction can be very unsettling, and our businesses need that certainty. So while they are pivoting and while they are certainly trying to do the best to conduct their operations, we want to collectively be a partner for them. And so in this webinar, for example, we brought in insight, expertise to understand how to comply with health and safety mandates, how to adjust marketing, how to adjust their financing, marketing strategies, and how to create an enhanced customer experience. And if you missed that webinar, we can certainly provide you with a recording, and it was very insightful. Next slide. This month, of course, is Manufacturing Month across the state of California. And so we are very pleased here in Corona to be partnering with various entities to celebrate and support over 400 manufacturers that call Corona home. And through these partnerships, we're also having access to very key data. For example, over the next 10 years, there's an estimated 3.2 million future manufacturing jobs coming in the pipeline. And so what does this mean? This means we need to position that next workforce generation to be able to compete for those jobs, well-paying jobs that are going to bring to light science, technology, engineering, and math STEM fields. And so we want to, of course, continue that working with these partner agencies. Next slide. And as Kim already mentioned, we are excited to be having a manufacturing webinar this coming Monday, October 26th. So please join us if you can to hear about exciting careers ranging from handcraft to high tech. And at tonight's council meeting, we are pleased that we will be designating next week as Manufacturing Week in Corona. So we're pleased to do that. Next slide. Another initiative I want to share with you is how we're creating vital linkages, how we are connecting job seekers with employers. Next slide. So we are working here with the county's Workforce Development Center and also with Riverside Community College District to be able to create that critical alignment to develop a skilled and prepared workforce. And one of the ways that we're doing this is through an industry survey analysis, understanding our various subsectors here in Corona, also understanding over the next 10 years projected growth, and very importantly, understanding the growth of those companies that will be paying livable wages, elevating the economic self-sufficiency here in Corona. Because ultimately what we want to do is to be able to attract a range of industries that are going to invest in our residents, in our job seekers by being able to provide those better paying jobs. Next slide. Also want to share with you how we are supporting entrepreneurship, building capacity, and creating opportunities. As you know very well, every month we host the Coffee Chat with an Entrepreneur in partnership with the Chamber, and it is amazing to hear the drive, the motivation of these entrepreneurs that certainly embody that spirit of resiliency. So we want to continue to create, to seed more entrepreneurship here, since they are job creators contributing to our local economy. So here, as you can note on the screen, we are partnering with a couple of federal agencies, the Small Business Administration, SCORE, Inland Empire, and also with a nonprofit association of entrepreneurs to be able to bring a variety of resources. Next slide. And these resources are provided in both English and Spanish to be reflective and attuned to our various demographics here in Corona. We were featuring in our last newsletter one of our partners, SCORE, as they launched a Hispanic Business Owners Hub that provides virtual workshops, counseling, blogs written by seasoned entrepreneurs, providing guidance. This is offered both in English and Spanish. So we want to make sure that we are tapping into and assisting aspiring entrepreneurs as well as existing ones. As part of their efforts, we're also promoting Transformation Tuesdays and virtual business counseling. Transformation Tuesdays essentially is on-demand business counseling with a seasoned former executive that is now investing their time and energy in helping aspiring entrepreneurs and current businesses continue on their path to success. We will be having our first Spanish webinar coming up on November 17th. And so we are excited to do that, and we'll be very much focused on strategies to be able to launch and survive during difficult times. And in 2021, we're excited to be offering 2 entrepreneurship academies, one in Spanish, one in English. More details will be coming soon. So my last point I want to leave you with here is that we are fully cognizant that to support our more than 12,000 businesses here in Corona, we have to have a very collaborative approach, working closely with our business community, with stakeholders, our local, regional, state, federal partners to ensure that collectively we can better position our businesses and our job seekers. And with that, I want to now turn it over to Trey Bradley, one of our partners. And I want to thank Trey for all of his support thus far to our business community. They have been instrumental, the governor's office, in helping us in conversations with companies as they're looking to locate or expand. So Trey, I'll turn it over to you, and thank you again for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you to Corona and the Corona Chamber. I would like to actually start by saying on that last slide, it was good to see a 951 number, which is my cell phone number. I'm born and raised in Hemet, California, and went to UC Riverside before going to Sacramento to join GOBiz. I'd also like to preface to say I have been a small business owner, managing a small business in retail fireworks sales. So I did go back this summer to go do the whole entire experience of building PPE and managing guidelines. So I understand some of those concerns that you shared in the beginning of the call. But what I'm here to talk about today is our office and then my role as an ability to be of help to you to help you find success within the state of California. And finding success within the state of California is happening a lot right now. We've probably had the largest traffic in terms of businesses expanding to California, finding sites within California, growing within California, but then also pivoting their operation to be able to do new and innovative things. And I'll be able to talk about some of the things that many of these businesses and folks like yourselves can utilize to be able to do the same. So if you can go ahead and start on the next slide. So I'm a senior business development specialist here. I'm located within Southern California now. I just moved back here about 2 months ago. I'm located within Los Angeles, but having covered most of Southern California during the time of COVID-19, I do kind of two services that are largely for free for businesses, and that's tailored site selection, finding you a site for any type of need within California if you're looking to expand or move sites, and then incentive navigation, which I'll be talking about today. The point I do want to make here is that there's a phone number. We are known within GOBiz and our office and team. We're a younger agency within the state government, but we are really known, well-known nationwide for our ability to be agile, responsive business. And it's kind of one of the hallmark elements of our office comparatively to the rest of the country. So you call us, you reach out through our website, you go through our portal, you are connected with a specialist immediately to help you understand your needs, what you're looking to do, if you're looking to grow or expand, or if you're looking to navigate state processes, permitting, the works. So I put the phone number there in big writing just to be able to point it out that you can make the phone call to us anytime. You can make the phone call to me anytime. You can email me anytime. So I'd also like to say before all of this goes, lots of people call us within GOBiz, specialists specifically, but other staff they often say, we're the consultant you don't have to pay for. And I would say that's large in part true. Our services are free and we're here to help you succeed and help you win here within the state of California. So if you go ahead and go to the next slide. So GOBiz, we are the point of contact for economic development, job creation, services to business owners, communities, site selectors within the state of California. I work specifically both within California Business Investment Services. I also manage Opportunity Zones, which is a place-based tax incentive for capital gains. With California Business Investment Services, which is what I'll be talking about today, is a lot of what I mentioned in the aforementioned slide, is that tailored consultation, site selection, and incentive navigation for businesses. And we do this both, in complete, confidentiality with the business. We're one of the few entities within the state. We're actually the only entity within the state that provides that confidentiality agreement pre-meeting with you engaging with us, so that you can ensure that, we're here to help you succeed. We're here not to, be the state and kind of talk about different things that may hinder your business or business growth. And I'd say that these services are also oftentimes done in conjunction with local partners such as the city of Corona. I think Jessica alluded to multiple times when, I've been able to jump in with the city of Corona in a business, be able to look about here, you can use this tax credit, this type of financing option. This is available to you. How do we help you succeed here within the city, but also within California broadly? And then, I just wanted to touch on some of the other GOBiz teams that we offer. We have a permit assistance team, so tailored permit assistance for state agencies, but also with local departments as well. We have an international affairs and trade team. So we have both staff who assist with foreign direct investment and export-import trade issues. So, you know, we have staff that both do those things, and they at the same time are privy to specific regions within in the world. So we have an Americas person who also works with trade and foreign direct investment, Europe, Asia, of course, and then we have also folks who work with the other continents as well. This is a new element within GOBiz, but understanding that, you know, as our economy is so large, we are, you know, at California, we are a large trade partner, and our ports are massive comparatively with many ports across the globe. So our ability to facilitate better deals and partnerships for our businesses within California to be successful in the international market is a key initiative within GOBiz. And the next piece is our Office of Small Business Advocate. We do have a small business advocacy office, which I'll touch on some of the resources that they've been providing as of late. But, you know, be able to do that type of advocacy to the legislature, but also be able to provide some tailored resources available to small businesses within California, especially during this time. And then the last part is that, you know, we have some other external affairs. We have a program called California Competes Tax Credit, which I'll be talking about today. Next slide. So really the landing place, and I'm putting this front and center, is business.ca.gov. We redid this website recently. It is very smooth, very clean comparatively to government websites that I've traditionally worked with. And it is really meant to think about the user and less about, you know, kind of here's a government agency running a website. So we talk about, you know, we don't sparse our website talking about the different units within GOBiz. You know, our audience is used as businesses. So, you know, we sparse it out by aerospace, defense, high tech, film, manufacturing. And you click on one of those and you're immediately taken to broad overviews of like incentives that are available to you to utilize right now, and with links to them to directly go begin applying. So this, you know, this website is very intuitive and easy to utilize. We also have the advantages page, which talks about a lot of the advantages of doing business in California. Many of the reasons that I prefaced this by talking about all the, you know, the high level of expansion that we have ongoing right now. And essentially, the other piece I would say is that we have a few apps on here. So we have CalGold, which is a permitting tool, where you type in what you're trying to do as a business. I'm trying to do this. Tells you all the permits that you'll need local to state if necessary. We have a business mapping tool, a business navigator tool. We have a business portal for finding more tailored incentives that may be available at the local level. So, I mean, this is really a website that's a one-stop place for you to go for all the resources you need. And at the top, we have links that are dropped down to two of our major resources, which are resources for COVID-19, kind of listing out what type of incentives may be available. And then our Shop Safe Local campaign, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Next slide. So this is the campaign I was talking about in the interim, because as a small business owner, I'm very excited about this because the amount of resources here and free services is incredible. So we have a Shop Safe, Shop Local campaign. You can reach it by business.ca.gov. These are a ton of free discounted resources for e-commerce, pivoting business, you know, free website hosting, free social media ad ability and traction offered to businesses. And the list goes on, and we're really fortunate. There's a lot of states who are very, very, you know, look at this page, and I'd say that they're very envious of our ability to leverage all the partnerships across our large technology companies to be able to provide these services at free or highly discounted cost. So I bring this page up first because I would say as a business, go here, maximize all for free, just click, plug and play the link, code, to be able to use these, to be able to grow your digital footprint in a time of COVID. So I think that this is just one of the great resources I like to point out right off the bat. And so other states are obviously looking to us to be able to duplicate the same. So, you know, many of the things that we're talking about today, you know, we're looking to assist other states in being able to do as well. And so this page, go here, you can reach it from that little tab, drop down on business.ca.gov. There's also a link there to the front, all these resources for free. And you can also be connected to a staff if you have questions or issues receiving any one of them. And then maybe go to the next slide. The next piece I was going to talk about is safely making CA. And this is also on the drop down at the top, but this is a partnership that has become also a model across the nation that we've really looked to leverage within the past 6 months. And that's a partnership with CMTA, Autodesk, GOBiz, and our Office of Emergency Services and FEMA to create a portal for manufacturers to fill critical gaps in sectors and be connected with small businesses, be connected with employers for PPE needs. And it's a really unique place. So it is a separate website because it is operated by CMTA now, understanding that GOBiz, our relationship with manufacturers is strong, but we're obviously working in a bunch of different other sectors. So we're able to leverage this partnership with Autodesk and CMTA to be able to utilize this marketplace. If you're a manufacturer within Corona area, I recommend highly that you go check out this website and see what opportunities are available to connect if you have pivoted or you are contributing any supplies given the time of COVID. Next slide. Over some incentives. I just put up a very few up here today just to kind of just give you a little bit. And what I will do is I will coordinate with Jessica and the chamber to provide just like some quick one-pagers and a document on all the small business resources that the governor's office and has passed since COVID, including the Main Street hiring credit, which was just created. It's $1,000 credit for every new hire that you make between now and the end of the year, up to $100,000. That's just one example of an incentive that, that we've created in the interim to be able to assist small businesses within this time. So I will provide a small business overview document of all the different things available to small business right now, just created since March. And this is a large document. It talks about all the tax relief that you can have as a small business, all the programs that have been created for you to execute and utilize as a small business. So something we're very proud of too. And, I'll be able to share that along with some other follow-up documents that just really takes you to the money to be able to go to the incentives to go get what you need. Some of these I'll be talking about in the next slide. So, we have tax incentives, we have employment and training, we have loans and financing, we have grants. I can touch about that a little bit later towards the end. Next slide. So the first program I'm going to talk about is California Competes Tax Credit that's located within our office. This is an income tax credit, and this is the largest amount we have had available within this program since its inception. And this is really kind of one of the drawing incentives to the state of California that a lot of other states do not have, and their ability to leverage this incentive for two abilities to do, both for attraction for new businesses within the state, but also for retention. So if you're a business that's considering leaving the state of California without a state competition, qualifies you to go straight for California Competes Tax Credit. You can ask for however much you want. And as I notate here, there's 80 million available just in this next round. And so you can ask for, however much you think you need to be able to, achieve success for your business and CapEx and jobs over a 5-year period that you determine that you'll be doing within growth. And so it's really nice and flexible compared to other income tax credits, not only in California, but for other states, and that you can hold it. You don't have to use it down in this year. If you're not profitable or making income this year, but you are having income in year 4, you can use your California Competes Tax Credit down there. It's also a great thing to leverage for investors, for financing. It really is a hallmark incentive, and you can look at some of the awardees in California who have received funding from this, including from the city of Corona. There are multiple folks within the Inland Empire who have executed and having a California Competes Tax Award. So all the list of awardees and people who have received awards under California Competes is all online, available to see. So the next period is this January, and I will be providing a one-pager that describes California Competes, a flyer kind of to be ready for that incentive to be able to go for it. It is a competitive application, but there are 3 rounds a year, and they're fairly sizable, as you can see. Next slide. Another one I'm going to talk about really quickly is one that I think is very advantageous and always has my brain running as a small business, someone who's owned a small business, is this one, because it's an opportune time. This is a new employment credit. It's an income tax credit for new hires offered to businesses if they are, for example, an EITC recipient, CalWorks, veterans separated from the armed forces, if they have been unemployed for longer than 6 months immediately preceding a hire, which you can imagine there's lots of folks who have had this experience happen across the United States during the pandemic. This is an income tax credit of 35% of that employee's wage locked in over 5 years. So every year you have that employee on mark, you're able to use that income tax credit down for 35% of whatever you're paying for them, as long as they meet these qualifications. So it's a great time to execute on this incentive. There's a lot of companies and businesses across the state looking at this incentive. You can also marry this with the Main Street hiring tax credit that I spoke out earlier. So go get an income tax credit for 35% of wage of employees. Don't have to worry about it 5 years. Also go get $1,000 credit from the state too for your new hire that you made because of the Main Street hiring credit. So a lot of incentives for hiring that are available. Next slide. And then the last one I was going to talk about is just kind of some of the ones for manufacturers and equipment purchasing that are available. And there's also film in a few other places here. But California, we as a state, we offer a sales tax exemption for all equipment all the time, available, non-competitive. You just have to fill out like a 2 to 3 page form when you need to go to buy your equipment. I've seen businesses use this for forklifts. I've seen them use it for generators at Home Depot. I mean, it goes across the board, and it's just a form that you take with you when you go to vendor and purchase. You can also be reimbursed up to 3 years for a purchase that you made for this exemption. So we as a state will always cover the sales tax portion that you are obligated to pay for equipment that's general manufacturing, R&D, agriculture, research and development, film and credit. And there's a lot of qualifiable expenses that exist at our CDTFA. And like I said, it's a 2-page form. It's very simple to do and to just qualify your purchases and then to go to the vendor to be able to receive that exemption of sales tax. There's also a program that is competitive, which I'll share in a 1-pager. It's a full sales tax use exclusion that we offer, where we as the state come in to pay not only the state sales tax portion, but we also pay the city, county, and local special districts that you also apply. So just want to make sure that the state tax exemption that's always available here at the state is not inclusive of the local county, city, county, or special district taxes that may exist for sales tax. Next slide. And this is kind of the end. The last thing I did want to say is another new thing that we launched is we understand that finding grants is across state agencies is difficult. And there's a lot of people don't have a lot of time. We have just launched this last summer, the California Grants Portal. It's grants.ca.gov. I don't have a picture of it up here, but grants.ca.gov. I wanted to just share that, and maybe, I'll type it here in the chat. But this is way better than the federal version. It's very easy. You just type in, I'm a business looking to do this within 6 months time frame. Show me all grants related at the state that deal with this. And so it's very, intuitive, easy to understand and utilize. One of the great things that we've been able to create, especially during this last time during COVID. So I would say that that's the last resource I wanted to share with folks here. Of course, happy to answer any questions. My email is there. My phone number for our office is there. Of course, my email, I'll respond. You can have my personal cell. I'm here to help you succeed and win within the state of California, and I'm available at any time. Thank you very much.
Jessica and Trelynd, thank you so much. I mean, great presentations, really fantastic. To get that information to us here in Corona, Trelynd, I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate it. Deborah, do we have any questions for this dynamic duo today?
There were actually 2 questions, but I think Trelynd pretty much covered it throughout his presentation, just with regards to if you have any insight regarding the COVID issue. I think you answered that through the state website, as well as the additional funding resources. You just mentioned that with the grants, but if you have any additional information to share, please feel free to do so.
Great. Again, Jessica, thank you for all the work you do for Corona. We're counting on you. I'll tell you, you're putting out 10-year projections and stuff, and it's really important. And we really appreciate what you do for us here too as well. So thank you again, both.
Thank you.
Kim, do you have something for us?
Yes, thank you, Don. Coffee with an Entrepreneur. Before we adjourn today's meeting, we want to remind you that next month we have the privilege of hearing from our own Dean Safe for Coffee with an Entrepreneur. He is the owner and operator of CarStar All-Star Collision and has a remarkable story that you won't want to miss. So join this free event held in partnership with the City of Corona, but you do need to register to be included. So RSVP now using the link on the screen. Don?
Thank you. I'm going to give you another shout out about membership here. If you know someone who should be here with us, Robert Yanez is the man you need to call to reference that person. As you just heard Jessica say, there's 12,000 businesses in Corona. So there's a lot of businesses out there that we need to be part of their experience in business, to get them on board, to do what we can for them as well. So please call Robert. Remember, you get a free ad in the Corona Business News if you can get someone to join the chamber. So Robert's always here. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsor, AFE Power. If you are interested in sponsoring, again, please contact Bobby, and you can be a valuable player like AFE Power was today. Please remember to register for this meeting on a weekly basis. We start at 10 o'clock every Wednesday morning. So get on there, and I think there's the screen. There we go. Next week, we have a really interesting fellow. He's a professor of economics, Dr. Chris Thornburg. You know, you're thinking that economics, go back to when you're a kid in school, you think, man, that's really boring. This guy is just so dynamic and so interesting in his presentation. He will give you an idea, give us an idea of what's coming on. He explains what can happen. He is one of the more interesting guys I have heard speak in my long tenure of being involved with chamber or with anything involving economics. I cannot recommend being on next week's call highly enough. So get on this screen, please take advantage of this opportunity to hear what this economist has to say. It's really a great opportunity for all of us. So I think we've pretty much covered all the bases for today. Great call. And we want to really thank those that participated and gave us their insights and the valuable information. So remember, the golf tournament's coming up a week from tomorrow, but I will be talking to you next Wednesday before that. So again, thank you, and we'll see you soon.